Fly Affair Nation, Fly Affair Nation, Fly Affair Nation.
It's not just for you, you selfish. It's for everyone around you.
Welcome back to another episode of the Be Selfish podcast. I'm your girl, Sharrell.
I'm Lilly.
I'm excited. Like, we're really doing this. This is actually happening.
This is number 2.
It's number 2.
I'm in shock. I'm still in shock, though.
Why are you in shock? What?
People think we're racist.
Yeah, y'all was bugging. Y'all was bugging on the last episode.
On the heavy.
Y'all was bugging in the comment section, but we got something special for y'all coming, okay? In the comment section.
Definitely. We're gonna talk it out. Because we ain't racist over here.
Yeah, it was our first episode, so it's kind of like, for me, in my mind, I knew what I was trying to say, but I understand y'all don't really know me, so...
And y'all so sensitive.
Don't be sensitive. This
Super
ain't
sensitive.
That. But they don't really know us, so we might as well just kind of like tell them a little bit about us and who we are, so let's get into it.
You first.
Okay, so... I'm Sharrell, obviously, and born and raised in the county of Dade, 305. If you know anything about Miami,
born and raised
in the county of Dade. Okay, shout out to all my Zoes. You know, I'm Haitian. Yeah, so
you were. Oh wait, no, I was gonna say, were you born in Haiti? But no,
nah, I was never born in Haiti. And listen, y'all don't kill me. I never been to Haiti yet. I haven't been to Haiti yet.
She's traveled all over the world.
I know. I have traveled a lot. I've traveled a lot, but I haven't been to Haiti yet, and don't attack me. Listen, if people start like trying to attack us, we're literally saying, here we grow. So book me a flight. Take me to Haiti with you. If you know how to speak Creole, French is better too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
What?
About it. I'm kidding.
I'm
not about it, but...
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Just don't get disrespectful, because you don't want us to get disrespectful right back. That's the only
Like I
thing.
said, we got something coming in the comment section, okay? Sure. We got something special for y'all.
And we're willing to talk.
But let me tell you, okay, so yeah, I'm born and raised in the county of Dade, and I have a lot of siblings.
Which we learn about the story.
Yeah. Which y'all know about on the last episode. And I'm an auntie. I am the hostess with the mostest. Like, I'm your girl if you want to like have a party, if you want to catch a vibe. I've been in hospitality for I don't know how many years. I officially retired from bartending, so don't ask me to make your drinks when you see me outside, okay?
That's actually how we met. We met in the customer service world, like, wearing some very known shorts.
Oh, you know the shorts.
The orange shorts, the hustle.
Orange shorts. Yeah, so we did. We met each other at Hooters, 6 years ago now?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
It feels like a forever ago, really.
6 or 7, that's when we met.
Yeah.
We met. You were with Hooters since Coconut Grove time.
Dang, throwback. So I started at Hooters in Coconut Grove. I don't even know that. It was like many years ago, but I started in Coconut Grove, and then that's wild in itself because they didn't hire me the first like 3 times that I applied, and finally they hired me.
Same.
Yeah, like, the moment that they're like, "Oh, can you try on the uniform?" It's like,
"Oh, we got it. We in there.
This,
we
right?
in there.
I got this shit." So I started off at Hooters, and then, Hooters Coconut Grove. Then I kind of bounced around. I was in Atlanta for a little while. I moved there with a boyfriend at the time. Get into that. And then we met each other at Bayside Hooters, where the money reside. Where the money reside. I was Bayside
was lit. That was kind of like my first job.
Your first job?
That was kind of like
literally?
Sort of, kind of. My very, very first job was probably sales associate at Guess.
Oh,
I didn't
so you
like
was in
it.
retail.
Yeah, I was in retail. Did not like it.
That's one job I said that I couldn't do. Like, only because you know how we like try on clothes and shit, and then we just throw it down, and then I gotta refold it. I don't even like folding my clothes.
You're giving me nightmares right now.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Don't, please, because and then I was working when it was like the seasonal stuff. So like Black Friday.
Ooh.
And all that stuff. Yeah, no.
How long did you do that?
Seasonal.
Literally.
The 3 months.
So you went from Guess to now Hooters, which Bayside was the first one, right?
And I had stayed there for a long time.
Yeah.
It was a long time. Waitressing job first time. I wasn't a big talker. The Hooters made me talk. And just talk to a lot of different people.
You had no choice.
Exactly.
And
you wanted to make some money, you need to talk.
Yeah, and you had to take pictures. But that's wild because that's where you actually learn how to. I don't want to say you learn how to do makeup there, but that's when we all were like, and you know how to do makeup.
And I still did not see it as something like that I loved yet. Nope. It was just somewhere where I had to learn how to do new things to my face. And, like you're forced to learn how to do your own lashes. Learn how to make this and do that. So definitely was a fun experience. And then girls would usually see me or see how I would do my makeup. Be like, oh my God, Lily, can you do my face? And I'm like, I don't think I can, but let me see your foundation. Let me see and try to kind of do what I would do on my face to them. It wouldn't work.
Nah, but
it wouldn't work.
For what you didn't think worked for like.
I guess until I got more into it, then yeah, definitely. But it would not work the same way. They loved it, but in my head, I was like.
But look at you now. You're literally Lily Legend. Y'all gotta call her Lily Legend. When you see her in the streets,
no, y'all don't.
Y'all have to call her Lily Legend.
Don't do that.
She
don't do that.
She does the damn thing, okay?
I do a little something.
She do more. She's being real humble, like, she's being real humble. But I'm gonna shout her out. She's literally worked with the who's of who's, okay? So yeah, come on, Lily, don't play.
I like staying humble. I don't like
my Cuban mommy. My Cuban mommy.
I don't like stating certain things that I've done, but I guess in this world you gotta like show off a bit, I guess.
I mean,
I still don't feel like I'm from here, so it's like
it's a little light flex. Wait, but were you born here?
No, well, no, my parents were born in Cuba. I was born here.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was raised in a completely Cuban household. My parents still to this day do not speak English. And they've been here since the 80s.
Were you in the county of Dade?
In the county of Dade.
I know that's right.
All over the place in the county of Dade. So I went from Liberty City to Little Havana to Overtown to Coral Gables to Brownsville, everywhere.
Yeah.
We always kept moving when I was little. So.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
That was annoying.
I always like, I think we moved like, because basically my pops raised like me, right? So me and my brothers, my mom was there, but she was like in the house. So we basically, wherever my pops went, we went.
Yeah.
And that was a wild experience in itself, but hey, it's life.
It seemed cool. I got used to not having close, like, friends of mine didn't last long because of that, because I always had to move. So every time I would see like movies or I would see shows and best friends growing together, and I'm like,
it's kind of even rare nowadays to have like friends for like
your childhood friends
for years and years. I probably have one homegirl who's, I've known her since high school that, me and her still rock with each other, but it's rare. And then accepts you for you, like good, bad, ugly, talk you through like friend. Good relationships, toxic relationships, like the whole nine. So that in itself is a blessing.
People end up falling sometimes though.
What do you mean?
Grow, like while you grow, because I have friends from high school that I could like count on 2 fingers how many friends I have from like high school. And then I have friends from college, and it's like all different times of your life, kind of.
Yeah.
Like how you said, like on the first, like, you experience people are experiences. So it's like definitely one of those situations where you kind of grow. You see people that, you guys were there for my clubbing phase. You guys were there for my motherhood phase.
Yeah.
Now you guys are here for my entrepreneur phase.
You know, when we talk about like friendships,
It gets lonely.
this is interesting for me to admit out loud, but I wasn't always like the best kind of friend to have.
Why?
Like, I know that we talk about being selfish in a very positive way,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense of like, you have to be selfish in order to get to where you want to go in life without having to shit on other people or without having to sacrifice your boundaries to appease somebody else. But you know, the times where you just have to like put friendships on pause, but they might really need you. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, like I've had situations, me being sick and a friend shows up for me when I'm sick, but let's say, you know, she's going through something and I didn't show up, you know, and I didn't really have the tools to be that kind of friend. And I think it's because how I grew up, like not really having my mom super present. So it was kind of like, if my mom wasn't really there for me, I don't really know how to be this for you, you know? So I wasn't always the best kind of friend to have. Like I have to take accountability for that.
That's probably where I'm at then.
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm doing that because I always would be the friend to be always there. And I would notice that when tables would turn, but mind, I don't try to do the things in return. I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm going to do this for you because when I need it, no.
Right.
But it just so happens it'll be the smallest things. You know, I always thought about the other person first.
Yeah.
So I had to switch that. And what's happening now since I've been switching, a lot of it's getting lonely.
Yeah.
As far as friends, as far as sisterhood, as far as, you know, people you thought are supposed to be there and they support you and, you know, no matter the good or the bad. It's getting, because I'm not at their reach. I'm not giving them certain access to me.
I'm actually praying for good sisterhood, like great sisterhood, like that community, because it is hard. Like teach me how to be a better friend. Teach me how to, and I get it. A lot of people don't want to have to be the teacher. They just want to be, you know, like just be there. But someone like me, I need that.
We just want to grow.
Yeah.
That's it. We just want to grow. And that's what I felt when I would see you. Like after we were working, we, you know, had our separate lives. I got into a toxic relationship. And I looked like I was like off the face of the earth for a second.
Oh, you dropped off.
Yeah. I had to find myself. As you could say. And then now, which we're going to get into that. But now seeing, you know, each time when we first met each other, we were trying to find ourselves. Time passes. Now we're here. And I was like, Sharrell, you know what? We need to do something because we keep ending up in the same room.
I was shocked when you called me on this. I was really, really shocked because number one, I was at home sitting in my living room and I literally just finished crying like, God, like just give me access. Give me, you know, I want to be and live in my purpose. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and feel like going to this 9 to 5 is like this end all be all, because I knew it wasn't. I know I'm so talented and I have all these great things about me, but I was like, God, please just give me access or resources because I need help. Like I know what I want to do. I know that I love hosting and podcasting and being social and doing interviews, like, and listening to other people's stories.
Yeah.
So when you called, no lie, you called me probably like an hour after I was freaking crying.
Wow.
I was like,
I
you
know
don't be
that.
playing. Like I didn't tell you this. Nah.
No.
So when you called me and you were like, you know, we're always kind of like in the same circles. What do you think about us doing
Be Selfish podcast? Which we didn't have the name yet.
Yeah, we didn't have the name yet. But I was just listening at first because truth be told, I didn't want to jump in and be like, okay, bet, and not feel aligned. You know, like people say yes all the time to things, and then you realize this person is not aligned with my purpose, with my dreams, where I want to go. They're not even on the same freaking road or in the same state.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted. But because I've already experienced you at Hooters and I see how like creative and upbeat you are and like so
and
sweet.
when I say I'm gonna do something,
and when you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. Because I was like, and then talking to Mr. Producer too, I was like, yo, this is gonna be a lituation right now. This is it.
And one thing that was crazy that made me feel good with the decision of doing this was how fast you like were active. You're just like, all right, this and that, and like we gotta do this, and like a week later,
because I knew you wasn't bullshitting.
Nah,
and it, because you have people who say they want to do something and then they don't do it. I've even been that person before, like not feeling motivated, but I already said my prayer. I was already manifesting this. I was already aligned, and it just, when you called, it was like, oh shit. But then I was like, why me? Why would you choose me?
Well, I'll tell you why. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'll tell you why. No, I saw that you were someone that was already doing it, So it was like, you know what? It has to work. Yeah. It has to work. And I remember 7 years back, we would sit in my living room and we would have these type of conversations, and then here we are, like literally working towards it. Even though we went through what we went through, we managed to get out of it.
Yeah. Because a lot's happened within that time of like us talking about it. And I don't even think we were necessarily talking about we wanted a podcast. I don't even think that was that wasn't even the conversation.
It was honestly just our purpose of what we just wanted to help. We just wanted to help people. That's honestly what it is. Do more
to service others as well. Like
we both understood that we have one life, and it definitely was not to spend it at Hooters.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But it was a good stepping stone, and it taught us a lot. But even in that time of like separation, I think I was already back in obviously I was already back in Miami, but I was out of my relationship that I was so like sprung on.
Like sprung?
Girl, he had me.
Or like a bad sprung.
I thought it was a good sprung. I thought it was a good situation. Are we about to get into it? They gonna be in my business? Y'all about to be in my business?
They gonna be in your business.
Yeah, I was in a really which I thought was like a loving, beautiful relationship, but I was young, you know what I mean? I knew this person when I was really young, and he was a little bit older, like 2-3 years older. And we just gonna call him, what should we call him? Damn, what should we call him? Mr. Potato Head, okay? I'm gonna call him Mr. Potato Head, okay? We gonna call him Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head, okay.
My mom would call him a fox. That's what but she didn't mean it in a good way. So, but I'm gonna call him Mr. Potato Head, right? So, when I tell you super sprung, loved him, but I realized I loved him so much because he put me on to so many things. Like I wasn't even old enough to get into the club yet. I smoked for the first time with him. I did a lot of adult activities, okay, for the first time with him. And I just was so like in love with him. But I also realized that he saw my light before I saw my light. Does that make sense?
What you mean by that?
So it got really toxic after a few years. I can't even say after a few, maybe 2 years, it got like really toxic where.
Oh, so it was a long relationship.
Oh yeah, like it was 5 years plus.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We met when I was young, and again, like he knew my light before I knew my light, like who I was. So although I believe he loved me, he just controlled me in certain ways that I didn't have anyone to tell me to look out for this or look out for that. I have a lot of brothers, I have a lot of uncles, but we never had that talk. I didn't have the sex talk with anybody. I didn't have the, if a guy is doing this to you or saying that or trying to like control the situation, I didn't have that.
So you're really like trapped.
I was trapped, but I was so in love. So it's not like
it
stay
was
in the house, Sharrell. It wasn't that. Or
it was
wasn't
a trap, but you didn't know you were trapped.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a trap.
Yeah, because I was trapped in love. Like I was.
Were you getting that same love back?
I thought I was. You know, I thought it was things like my dad used to be like, oh, you know, a man is always supposed to pay all the bills kind of thing. So I thought, oh, well, he paid all the bills. He always cooked. He always made sure we had a roof over our head. He, you know, would, you know, give me money and I would go shopping. Or,
sounds like a dream.
Yeah, it sounds like a dream. But then he would get jealous over the smallest things.
Like what?
Like I remember one time, you know, at Hooters, we all become a family, right? So, you know, you're talking to the cooks, you're talking to the girls. And I remember one time I went to Coco's. If you're from Miami, you know Coco's, right?
Coco's.
Coco's is a strip club. You know Coco's on 119. And I remember I went out and one of the coworkers, one of the cooks calls like, yo, it was, you know, it was lit before they used the word lit.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, we got to do that again. And I remember being in the nail shop where my man took me, Mr. Potato Head took me to go get my nails done, right? And he's just waiting. But then my phone was with him. So he listened to my voicemail, girl.
Ooh.
He listens to my voicemail. So after, you know, he pays for me to get my nails done because he was really taking care of me, right? And I'm thinking, I got me like
you can't mess this up.
This is bae, like, and this is before like, oh, you gotta pay this and take care of me. Like it was just, I was young. So we're driving on the way to the house, and girl, it's almost like darkness just came over him. Like he was like, what's this? I'm like, what? He plays the voicemail. And I'm like, oh, that's just such and such. You know, like that's really because I'm so in love with this man that it's like I couldn't even see another man.
And mind you, the cooks at Hooters, we still homie to this day.
Still
like
to this
these
day.
are homies, like real life homies.
Yeah, still to this day. When I tell you he went while we're driving, we're in the right lane, right? Far right lane. This nigga went curved all the way to the left lane. Like on some just so we can get to the crib. And he just like spazzed out at the house.
But what did the voicemail say?
It was just like, yo, last night was lit, you know, it was just that. It was nothing crazy.
Hold on.
He felt like it was something.
You got to turn that around. So you got a whole other dude.
I didn't.
No, but I'm just saying last night was lit.
Well, yeah, but at my young, naive age, I'm not thinking. I didn't even think he would think I would ever step out on him because I was so sprung on him. Like, so now in hindsight, I can see like, oh, okay, you know, because if it was me, I'd be like, who this chick talking about? She had a lit time.
Last night,
you know? But yeah, I was, I didn't think
you didn't think about it that way?
I didn't because I was so, you know, when you're so in love with a man, it's like
I
don't
would
ever
never
dare think that I would step out on you.
Yeah.
Period.
So what happened?
He just basically spazzed out, you know? He just was like cussing me out. He was like
while driving, or you guys
while driving in the house.
That's a no.
He literally kicked me out of the house. Like
that same
kicked me out of the girl.
No explanation. You couldn't even explain yourself.
No.
You couldn't even.
No, he just wasn't here. It's almost like darkness literally came over him. And that was the beginning of like the toxic bullshit. I couldn't even believe it.
So you went back?
Yeah, my dumb ass went back.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Yeah, my dumb ass went back. I went back because, number one, I went to my uncle and I was just like, you know, he did this and he did that to me. And my uncle was like, well, what'd you do? And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't do shit. And then I told him I got a voicemail. And he was like, well, what you expect? So when my uncle gave me that, like, what did you do? And then it made me feel like maybe I did do something wrong. I went back to him. But then it got even uglier. Because now, and this is what I want to say to anybody listening. Just because a man does not slap you or, I don't know, punch you or like, I guess physically bruise you does not mean that it isn't abuse, right? So it got to the point where now he's manhandling me, like, you know, they would say yoking you up, like just, he's like, like just frustrated. And I'm just like crying. I'm scared. I always thought, you know, people always say, oh, hell nah, this is what I would do if somebody did this to me. But when you're in it, when you're in the thick of that shit, you're shocked. You're like, the man that I love, that I would do anything for, is manhandling me. Like, this can't even be real right now. And I remember feeling like, obviously scared. I can't go back to my uncle because now he already was just like, what did you do? So it kind of gave me that like guilt trip, you know, like, okay.
Like, I have to fix this.
I have to fix it, right. And then, you know, of course, he gives the same old, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again.
I've heard that before.
And then like SpongeBob, a few months later. Like,
2 days.
You know, so it's just like, it just became so overwhelming to me. Like, I was willing to do anything. And that's what I mean. Like, he knew my light before I knew, because me today at my big age, I would never allow somebody to even raise their voice to me where it would frighten me or scare me or make me feel like, oh, cold red, like exit stage left. I wouldn't do that. But he put me through a lot of embarrassing shit. Like, a lot of embarrassing shit. So, I mean, I definitely think women who are in those situations, I know it's hard to get out of, but you literally got to put yourself first. Like, I can't even, it's easier said than done for sure, right? Like, the shit is easier said than done. Because when he was roping my ass up, I remember one time I called the cops. Oh my God. I remember one time I called the cops, and it was one of the cops who used to come to Hooters. Yes.
Wow.
It's a small world.
That's crazy.
It's a small world. And he looked at me and he was just like, are you good? Hell no, I ain't good. If I was good, I wouldn't have been calling you.
I would have called you.
But it's like, do you want to press charges? No. Because in my mind, I'm thinking
think back
he's only,
to it.
I'm thinking he's only manhandling, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're thinking, oh, there's no way, like, I need to press charges. But that shit is toxic. And then just to be like, and mind you, he wasn't doing the most every day. He was just very like, he still showed up for me when I needed him. He showed up to any of my dance events. He, you know, still took care of the house. He still cooked. He, you know, like, I thought it was beautiful until it wasn't beautiful. And now I'm at a space where I could never be back there. Like, but I did that shit for like 5+ years.
No, that's crazy. That's probably where the hell we were at then, because same kind of thing with me.
And that's before I met you, though. Like,
oh, that was before.
This is before I met you, and because he was the one that put me onto Hooters.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that told me to go apply. So I definitely girl, I have story for days. I remember one time. Yo, he called me like beefing with me over like nothing. And he was like, I got your shit packed up and it's at the door. Mind you, it's raining. I remember it raining. He said it was like, he said my stuff was outside the house. It was raining. I just walked into Hooters Coconut Grove and I immediately start crying. And I was telling my manager, I was like, I need to go. My boyfriend, he says he kicked, you know, he's putting everything outside. And he's like, you girls always are going through things with your boyfriends. And I'm like, I gotta go. I know, it's one of those days I gotta go. And I left. None of my stuff was outside.
Oh no.
It was, and I'm like, you just made me miss out on money. Cause now I'm thinking about my escape plan to get out of this situation with him.
Attention. He wanted attention at that moment. That's what he wanted.
Have you ever been through that?
Have I?
I mean, cause I know I have.
Have I?
Yeah.
So I this today's episode, seriously, if we're sharing our stories because in case anyone is going through something, we're both two females that made it out.
Fendi facts.
Let today be more of it's just us. We're just talking our experiences.
Yeah.
And definitely the good thing, I would say, the silver lining in your story, y'all don't have kids.
Yeah. Thank you, God.
On my end,
God be knowing, because I couldn't do it.
My said person, I got to keep seeing this person.
Oh, man.
We have two beautiful, beautiful, beautiful children.
They're gorgeous.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that was honestly one of my big reasons as to why I had to find a way out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of have a history of bad relationships, and what I was noticing was that I do have a bad history of toxic relationships. What I was noticing is that I was empty. So I kept attracting empty people. Because either someone had a void, someone had had mommy issues, someone had daddy issues, or they were just, I wanted to fix them. I wanted to help. I wanted to feel important.
We always want to fix some shit.
Yeah, I wanted to fix them.
Barbara the Builder.
I could help you, and that's what I felt. I felt that was love, being able to do something for someone and then be thankful. I thought that was love. I wasn't getting it from home. So I had to feel some kind of validation from someone. So the moment that I would do something wrong, it was like the end of the world for me. I was like, no. So it made me be an easy victim to a toxic relationship because it was just, it would happen. I had my very first, I would say my very first toxic relationship. It ended toxic.
It ended,
I want to say toxic just so I don't say abusive, because it was a physical abuse thing. It was a toxic relationship.
I didn't know that.
It was a toxic. I have a tattoo down my back because of this relationship.
What you mean?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a tattoo on my spine, and basically that tattoo says love, strength, and happiness. Right. And then it also says wounded but not destroyed.
Fendi facts, period.
So that's what I have tatted on my back. And the reason why it's on my back is because like I said, I was with someone. This is not the father of my kids. This is before. But I'm giving you a backstory so you guys could know that you're going to end up going to the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with this relationship, it was a person. He was my first. We were each other's first.
Soul ties.
No. I felt that way because I was like, oh my God, this is the first person I have sex with. So I have to be with this person for the rest of my life. My mom is going to disown me if I don't. So it was like, I was probably like 17.
Yeah.
17.
That's about the age where we begin.
When you try experimenting to see what's what. So I really felt like I was with this person, like connected, like we're supposed to, fight the world together. It just wasn't working. It just, mind you, we were both young. He had a different type of outlook on life. I was more structured as far as like my parents were strict. So I was like, after this, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to do this, and that. Did not do any of those things, but that's how I felt it was supposed to be. Started noticing that I felt like an option
to him.
Yeah. And he was kind of like popular in the school, and I was just having, I was just seeing that I wasn't happy. I kept hearing things, and that he was sleeping with another girl. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're my first.
That's what I'm saying. Them soul tie, you already connected to him.
What you mean you doing this with someone else?
Oh my God.
And it was this whole lying thing, and it wasn't. And then it was just this high school crap, like someone rumor over here, rumor over there. And I was done with it. I was done with feeling like tied to this person.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to leave.
But how did you leave that situation? Because you were young, you're in high school. So, I mean, we know young girls who like are going through. So like, what did you do in that situation?
That situation, I thought I had it handled. I thought, I was like, I sent them a text because it was already on and off.
You was trying to break up with him through text? That's
yes.
right. Get savage. I like it. I like your style.
Because I just didn't like how it was going. I didn't like that I was option number 2. Like, no, and mind you, I was the one that would help him with his homework. I would help him with everything. Like his parents were super happy to have, like, like, oh my God, since my son's been with you, so I'm over here like, so you
thinking you upgrading him and making him better.
Yeah. That I tend to do that a lot.
And he was outside. Honestly. It was Brenda and Keisha, Latinda, Alicia. Like,
bruh,
he having the nerves,
making me look stupid. That's what he was doing. He was making me look stupid.
Yeah, and
I was done with it. I was like, nah, I need to focus on other stuff. I can't be doing that. So, we were already like on and off, already. So,
and this is high school.
This is high school.
This is high school.
This is high school.
Damn.
This is high school. And I text him, and I'm just like, when in high school, texting was actually really important. You'd be sending like messages and the whole essays and stuff, because you can't talk on the phone that long and blah blah blah. So I'm sending the message of just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. And then he was like, let's talk in person.
It'd be the let's talk in person.
I'm like, no. I don't want to talk in person. I'm done. Like, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to go to your house.
Oh.
No, I'm not there. I was there. I definitely was there. But I'm like, why? I don't want to see you no more. We're done. This is it. Like, please leave me alone. If you see me in the school, like, I don't, that's it. I don't want this anymore. Right. And it was like, I'm going to be outside. And I'm like, don't.
That's when they get real serious. Like they want to.
And I was sweating because I don't know why. I don't know why I was feeling that way and not like, okay, whatever. But I'm just like, no, don't try to think that you're going to come over here. You're going to like give me a hug and no, please do not come here. I'm not home. I'm out. And it kind of looked like I was out because my mom's car wasn't there. So I was there it was just me and my little cousin. And, he was outside. He was outside.
So he pulled up to your house.
Yeah, he pulled up.
That's
to
a
my
big
house.
no. That's a big red flag for me.
He pulled up to my house, and I still to this day did not think anything of it. I didn't think anything of it. I told my cousin, go answer the door to tell him like I'm not there. Like I'm out. I guess he knew I was in there. And his voice started sounding like he was in the house, right?
So she don't let him in?
No, but his voice just sounded like that. So I was like, wait a minute, you're not going to walk into the house like that. So I just popped up and I was like, bro, like, stop. This is not happening. He was like, come outside. I want to talk to you. I was like, I don't want to talk.
Did that go on for like a while before it was just done? Because you said you had like a series of...
That was my first time that I got into a physical altercation with a man, and this boy was hitting me. It was on one of those like, if I can't have you, nobody will type thing.
Oh my
like he blacked out on me. He blacked out, and I couldn't understand where that anger was coming from because I wasn't the one sleeping around.
It be coming from the pits of their soul in demon time land.
So the reason why the tattoo is on my back is because he body slammed me 3 times on the concrete. Picked me up, choke, body slammed me 3 times on the concrete.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
Yeah. And I would get up every single time.
What?
Yeah. To go keep fighting. Seriously.
In high school.
In high school. This is at night outside my house.
And your mom wasn't there.
My mom was
Your
not there.
dad wasn't there.
No, my dad did not
Your
live with
brothers
us.
weren't there.
Nope.
So what happens when they get home and they see you like?
So that situation, all I remember really, I blacked out because I guess at one of those hits, I just didn't get up. I did notice at one point my cousin tried to like hit him and he punched her and she knocked out. And there were neighbors that came out that know him and they knew of us, you know, and they're like, yo, what the hell's going on? And he was telling them to hold me so he could keep hitting me. And then they're like, what the? Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad until someone was like helping me. I don't remember much. Everything went a daze because I most likely just knocked out because I couldn't. No, yeah.
So what I want to know, what does your mom or dad say to you when this is happening? Because, you know, if it's up to us and we're in like these crazy situations, like,
I don't know if y'all ready for what happened after that. So I wake up in the hospital.
Damn,
I wake up in the hospital. And I guess they wanted to like make sure that everything was okay.
Right.
You know, because they don't know. So I see my dad. I don't see my mom. I see my dad though. And it was just quiet. It was silent in the room. I guess you could tell my lip was busted. Like I had a couple of bruises on my face, but it was mostly like most of the trauma was to my back. Right. And we just wanted to check everything out. When I get home, which was I think it was an overnight thing. Like I had to stay because it happened at night. So it was morning time that I was able to go. But it all felt like it was just the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And you can imagine, you know, like when you go to the gym for a long time and you're sore.
Ooh.
So I wouldn't be able to get up from bed. I wouldn't be able to put on a shirt. None of that. I called my mom because I was crying in pain. And I'm like, Mom, can you like help me put on a shirt? And my mom looks at me and she's like, you got yourself into this? You're going to have to deal with it.
Talk about tough love.
Just like tears ran. I'm just like, she didn't know the pain that I was going through.
Yeah.
But what I also didn't understand is what she was telling me was like, you got yourself into this.
Yep.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it.
My uncle basically said the same thing because I was living with my uncle before I moved in with Mr. Potato Head. And he literally said the same thing. You wanted to go and be, you know, a hothead with me and move out. So you got to stay out. And sometimes that it's true. You gotta feel it because you're not going to learn until you feel it. And to be completely honest, I still didn't learn because after that situation, it was in school. Everyone found out, you know, rumors went out, you know, what was going on. I had to change school. You're still in high school.
I'm still in high school and it was my senior year. So I had to switch schools, come back.
Did you keep seeing him after he did that?
I did.
For how long?
It was for a while because I feel like I could fix people. You feel like you could fix it. That's why I wanted to share that because afterwards he apologized.
Of course.
You know, there was people that were not okay with the situation. People outside of the situation because they see more from the outside. People see more from the outside.
Yeah.
And I knew he blacked out. I knew that wasn't him that was doing that. Or at least I felt.
I was going to say because it's absolutely them. I thought the same thing though when I was in my situation. Like,
so I accepted the apology, and he would want to see while I was going to the other school. he would get on the train, and then that's where we would meet on the train.
Because now
and-
y'all sneaking. Because it sounds like y'all sneaking.
Yeah. So it was like kind of like, so I still felt bad. Like I said, this was my first,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I felt like, okay, this happened. We were both really mad. It's not going to happen again. I don't think so. He seems really sorry. Like maybe we can fix this, you know, completely forgetting that I could have died that day.
Right.
You know, completely forgetting that could have been really, really bad. And I also didn't think that it would happen again. I thought he was really sorry. I thought he was really sorry, and he meant it, and he's never done that before, and he's not going to do it again. But something felt different because it did happen. Something felt different as far as like, but I can't be out in the public with you. Like I was like,
right, because I would think the embarrassment and just
exactly
like the whispers and the conversation that people are gonna have.
Yeah, and it was still like a caring thing. I still, like I said, to this day, I still care for this person.
To what day?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
To what day?
To this day, I still care about this person. I still, as far as like, I hope they find just peace. I hope they find. Because
that's the healer in you. That's the nurturer in us women. Because well, okay, you're right. I know you lying, but yeah, I wish you well, and I wish you, you know, good fortune or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, I don't want to see you. I pray to God I don't run into you.
It was like that too. It just felt bad. So I was just like, you know what? We can't do this. So it's just like, we should just let it go when we were supposed to, and when I've gotten here. Even though apologies accepted and all that stuff, I knew that it just wasn't going to work. Like that was it, you know, at that point. And I'm like 17, 18.
And you know what?
That's nothing.
When we're in these bad relationships, or when it turns bad, I notice if you go and outsiders find out about it, they will never forgive that person like you will forgive them. So it's wild, because a lot of women won't even share their experience, because they know, if I go tell my aunt, my uncle, my mom, my dad, my best friend, my cousin, my pastor,
they're going to judge me.
They're going to judge you, and they're going to judge that person. And you would rather take a bullet for that person and shield that person instead of outing them.
Ouch.
Right?
Ouch. That hurt.
Yeah. But we've been there. That's why we're having a conversation. It's like, I would have rathered taken this bullet, this hit for this person, versus anyone saying anything negative about them. And although my experience isn't as, you know, traumatic, or like, to me it felt vicious. Like what he did to you was very vicious.
I honestly, even I would look into his eyes. I didn't see him. I was like, girl, no, this man, he is fighting me. Like I was against, like, me against an actual,
I know that look.
Like monster.
Empty. And then it's wild, because even if you're like crying, you're like, please stop, or they don't feel anything. And it also makes me think now, damn, why are they so mad? They must have gone through something so traumatic in their life.
It's not my fault.
It's not your fault. That is not your problem.
My fault.
Right.
That you feel this way. Like it must be the anger within, the anger that you cannot fix. It's the anger, it's the issues, it's the problems that you cannot fix. It is not your responsibility to fix these people. They have to fix themselves, and we get stuck in these situations because we feel like we could help them. Right. It is our job as their woman to help them. And what's really happening is that you're sinking yourself deeper. You're sinking yourself deeper and deeper into the situation. Yeah. Because you just want to help them, because you love them. You love them so much that you want to better them. And when what's happening is it's just, It's hurting you. You're
but love
getting
don't
hurt.
do that. And I had to realize that. I really had to be like, but love don't do this. Love isn't supposed to feel like every day I'm tiptoeing around Potato Head.
It's walking
It shouldn't
on eggshells.
feel like I'm walking on eggshells. Like, relationships aren't easy, but it shouldn't be this hard. You know what I mean? And on top of it, the amount of time that I felt like I invested in that person, I felt like, nah, I gotta work. And that was one of my big mistakes. Like, just because we were together years don't mean that we need to stay together in these trenches, okay?
And that goes for you having kids with the person too. Just because y'all
be a
have
whole
kids
nother level of hard
does not mean y'all gotta stay together
Yeah.
for the kids. That's another thing. Oh, we're
a lot
together
of people
because of
do,
kids. Yeah. But after trickling from that situation, right, I did not heal myself properly. I did not.
How do you even know though?
I don't.
Because when you're in high school, I
felt like my life was over.
We talk about nowadays so much healing and trauma, but in high school, I don't even think I knew the word.
I felt like, no, I'm gonna get very, very deep, and I'm gonna try not to cry. But I really felt like my life was over because of that situation, right? I'm going to a whole other school. And mind, this is the mind of a 17-year-old, 18-year-old.
Right.
You know? And I'm going to another school. I gotta wear sweaters because my arm is all bruised up and I don't want no one asking me no questions.
Wow.
It was hard to, for the first couple of weeks. And what was happening was that when I would come home, my mom was like, nothing.
What do you mean?
Like she just wouldn't talk to me, no advice, no anything, no sharing any past experience that maybe happened. There was no nothing. I didn't have any closure. It was just a big question of like, I did this to myself type of situation. And I just wanted everything to be done.
Wow.
I wanted to be done. I didn't want to keep going. I was like, you know what? My life is not going how I want it to go at 18. I'm saying this because I was 18 when I said that. And I decided to do something. And I would try to take away my life.
Wow.
And not because of him. It was just because what I did to myself. And I felt like I failed. I felt like I failed.
Made a mistake.
Because I made a mistake. I felt like I made a mistake and I failed and I did something. I took pills I woke up in the hospital. I'm trying to pass it so I don't cry, guys. So
you gonna make me cry because
I needed this to happen. The reason why I needed this to happen was because it felt when I woke up and once again it was like deja vu all over again because my dad's at my side.
He did it again?
No, my dad's at my side and my mom was not.
Oh, when you
what happened was it was ignored. Like, I'm sure they found out I'm sure they knew how many pills I took. I'm sure it was this. I'm sure they spoke to the doctors, but it was like so shushed. Like, this does not happen. Like, no, my daughter would never try to do this, or no one's going to speak of this. No one's going to. And I think that happens a lot in like the Black community with mental health and all that stuff. Like, we didn't need no information of this happening because not in my household. Right. We don't have
it's very hush hush.
It's very
keep
hush
it in
hush.
house.
So that also made me feel like I was like still like dying inside. So I'm over here thinking like, why didn't I go? Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it work?
Because you weren't meant to go. You were never meant to go.
Yeah. I was like, why didn't it work? Why didn't it happen? And I just felt like I was like, okay. I felt like, you know what? At first, I didn't like it. Now I am so grateful of that moment.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you know what? I wouldn't have met my kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. Oh my God, I'm about to cry.
They're so beautiful. It's okay. They're so beautiful. You were never meant to go and be the woman that you are today to even talk about it, because So many women go through this. Young girls go through this. To be in that space and hold that
And
kind
feel
of
like their life is over, and it's not.
and
It's not even starting. It's not. You haven't even
developed
at
yet
all.
to know. You know, they say, or studies will say, your brain don't really even develop until you're 25 or so.
Mhm.
So it's like you have all this pressure and weight on you when you're dealing with an abusive relationship, or even if it's not abusive, it could be verbally abusive.
Yeah.
And then your parents, you know, being old school, them thinking everything has to be in-house, hush hush,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like they don't even have, I would say, the tools to navigate how to keep you going. It's hard.
It was. If you circle your life around someone, and the moment it doesn't work, you just think life is over. So it was definitely, mind you, I still went through pain afterwards, but just to be thankful. These are happy tear, guys. This is happy tears because I didn't succeed on that part, which is good.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know. It's like God has such a bigger plan for you. And it's so insane to look back now. But until you can just like push yourself through all of that bullshit,
You have to.
You will never know. Like it's not worth it letting your life go over
Mhm.
somebody else who hasn't healed their situation, or they're angry for whatever reason. It's never worth it, but thank God.
You have to see it yourself. And I feel like I had to really like feel alone. I felt alone. Like I couldn't talk to anyone. The only thing that made me feel any kind of way, like, okay, I belong here, was like school. Which is crazy. Like my friends at school that didn't know half of the things I was going through, but just the fact that I had to be this happy person. And you know what? No, last weekend I so did not try to kill myself. What?
No one knew at school or anything. It was just like the doctors, your parents.
That's it. Doctors, parents, never spoken about ever again till this day.
When did you even go back to school after that? Because
while all that was happening, I was transferred to a different school. I was in another school. And then my friends kept calling my mom, like, they kicked them out the school. Can you please bring Lily back? Like, come on, she needs to graduate with us, and all that stuff. And that's, my mom went to find out if it was true. And yeah, he did get kicked out for other reasons, though not because of that, but that kind of pushed the reason to be kicked out. And I was able to come back to my high school and graduate with my class. But it was so hushed. So it was no one, only a couple of people knew. So it was like a word of mouth thing of like, oh, she got beat up by such and such. But I had to blur it out because it was like in my head I had so much other things going on that I was like, I'm not worried about what he did. What I did to myself was worse.
Now, at this point, are you still, even after that, did you still allow yourself to see him?
No.
That was it.
As far as seeing him intimately and all that, no. I knew of him. I knew of his situations. I knew of like, you know, of other stuff, even throughout the years. You know, we have social media, we have Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. So it's like you
still could see him. Like,
I would still see. Just, it was weird. I just had to check on him. I don't know. It was a weird thing. I'm being so honest right now.
Yeah. You know what? And I have to remind myself of that too, because I think I've detached myself from who I was then. You know, mind you, this is like a decade ago for me, but you go back over and over. And I remember for me, like, I would literally, I'd be like, God, I swear, if you just deliver me from this, I'll never go back. I will never go back. Like, how many times have you prayed to take yourself out of this situation?
But wait, can I please say something on that? All right. Because you could, I do not want to offend anyone saying this at all. You could pray. You could pray to God. You could ask him and all that stuff. The most that this person could do, I'm pretty sure what he's already doing, he or she, because in my head, God is God. All they can do is open your eyes.
Yes.
That's all they can do is open your eyes.
Yes.
So you honestly have the power to see, because sometimes the stuff is laid right in front of you.
Yes, absolutely.
And you still stay there.
I'm so glad you said that, because I remember there was times where when I actually moved to Atlanta to go be with this person, and right before I did that, my mom said to me, "You're gonna go and move with this fox." I don't know why she called him a fox, but she's like,
she knew.
She was like, he's going to separate you from your friends and your family. And the moment that you feel any kind of way towards us, you're gonna move. And she wasn't lying. I called my homegirl up. I packed up all my shit in my little Dodge Caliber, and I drove 10 hours to go and be with this man.
You see?
Only to be in an even more fucked up situation. Okay.
You know what? That's honestly, we need to talk about the red flags. If we're going to help people today,
we definitely need the red flags.
Let's talk about the red flags, which one you mentioned one that's really big. They control your situation. They will strip you away from your friends and family.
That's facts.
They would say stuff like, "That's not really your friend. That's not really your friend. She don't support you. She tried to talk to me."
Yes. Or, "If you love me, you would just do this."
Yeah, don't go out with her. Don't go out with her. Just chill. Just chill. You don't need that. Oh, every time you get mad, you go out with her. Y'all go get drinks. Y'all go to the club and all this stuff. And you have all these dudes talking to you. When really you just gonna go to her house and just drink some wine and chill and watch a movie and just talk, vent.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Them red flags be front and center.
Front and center.
I remember before, one of the red flags was that he stayed out one night, all night. And we were living together at this time. All night.
Excuse me?
That's a huge red flag. What you doing staying out all night long? I'm at the Hard Rock. I'm gambling with my friends.
So you didn't sleep?
And mind you, even if you think you don't believe this person is cheating on you, that's not normal. That's for someone to step out on you.
Can I stay out all night long?
Hell no. Or to check you about what you're wearing, when you need to be back, like on some, I'm your daddy now.
What you're gonna wear to go out.
Yeah.
I don't like that dress on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put something else on.
Or they will come around your friends and your family and act salty, have very low energy. It just gives, what the hell wrong with him?
Like, don't bring him here, but I can't go without him. Then don't come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're purposely doing that.
Yeah.
Purposely. On some, like, it's me or them, and then that's your relationship, so that's what you feel like you're supposed to answer and be like, well, you're my man, you're who I'm supposed to be with. Because honestly, I'm not gonna say you're my man, because this is on there's this happens with toxic women also.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that.
I'm your partner. This is what you're supposed to be doing.
Females be toxic too.
Females be toxic too. Females be abusive too. So if like this is in general. For everyone, we cannot forget that because it's not just women.
Women be beating their asses too. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Ooh, actually, I don't know if you guys heard about this story in Chicago. Did you hear about the microwave, the pregnant woman? Okay, so
and I've heard about it. I hope y'all tap into this. This is crazy.
I'm just gonna share this story because when you guys miss out on your exit moments and you continue to stay, it's just gonna get worse.
Ooh, that was
It's just
deep.
gonna get worse.
When you miss out on your exit moments.
And
Ooh.
so this story, what happened was they were having an argument over who uses the microwave first. And they were having that argument, and out of nowhere, like, it just escalated, and she went to grab a knife and stabbed him. Mind you, she stabbed him in the leg. Maybe she thought, hey, I'm stabbing him in the leg. No, she hit, I don't know, it's an artery, like a very important artery. I don't know which one. I'm not a medical person. Sorry, but
we didn't do that, y'all.
She probably thought, hey, let me stab low and let me just show him. No.
First of all, even stabbing someone,
that's your first thing.
A red flag, okay? And on top of it, it sounded like some pent up anger.
They've been there before.
Yeah. You've been there before.
They've
been there before. Because I think wasn't the cops called previously on them, like reading up on it?
They had about 5 previous domestic violence calls to that house. She was pregnant with his child.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could say that, hey, it was probably pregnancy hormones, anger and all that, but I'm like, nah.
I've never been pregnant, but
there's men. No, I didn't feel like stabbing nobody.
That's what I'm saying. What's going on?
Sorry, I'm not gonna kill no one.
Wow.
But it's one of those things that it's pent up. You don't know really what happened in that household, So it's just like you missed exit moments, and now he's gone and you're sitting in jail.
Because there are exit moments.
There's
plenty. Like, there's plenty of exit moments.
There is. It's just it all depends on the type of situation that you're in. So it's like, at least for me, that I didn't feel like I had an exit moment because that happened while I was exiting. so
but yeah,
in that situation, that was my exit moment. I just did not do it properly, I guess. But it's just so much goes into trying to, I don't know, I feel like people stay and people feel like they could fix.
Nah.
You think you could fix a toxic relationship, or a relationship has gotten that far?
When I was in the thick of it, I thought I could. But again, in my situation, I never thought he was cheating. I never once thought he was cheating until, the very end of our relationship. It was something super minor, like him getting a new V-cut shirt. I know, right? When you know your man, you know your man. It was one of those moments, and I was like, how can I really try to fix this if he just keeps doing same old bullshit? Like you don't get that I love you, that I want to be with you, that everybody know that we're together. I was willing to do whatever. And you want to disrespect me? It's almost like, no, I don't. And some people, I haven't heard it yet, but maybe that's something where we can have that discussion. Like, have you been in a toxic relationship where you feel like, or you've overcome it, so now that person isn't toxic anymore? I feel like if he manhandled me once, he gonna do it again.
Definitely.
Whether it be a month from now, a few days from now, a few years from now. Because what's happening? Are you going to therapy now? Like, how do you overcome this?
There's a lot to. I feel like you can't fix a toxic. Well, it depends on the level of toxic, but I feel like if it comes to a point where you guys are already disrespecting each other,
what's the level of toxic? Because I feel like people are like normalizing what toxic is.
No, they think it's cute.
Like,
they think it's cute.
I got
it's
a
just
mild
like,
version of toxic, like, or a 1.5. Like, what is that?
Nothing
like?
Good about being toxic is cute. There's nothing of it. I feel like right now they're basically idolized. I wouldn't say they're idolizing, But the whole Blueface and Krishan situation.
Oh my
Like,
God.
can we stop seeing that?
Let me tell you something. That will make me cry. Only because, you know, I know recently she was saying like, oh, it's beneficial for us both, you know, because I understand she's from Chicago, right?
She's stuck. I don't know.
I think she's from Chicago.
She's stuck.
I gotta look it up. But she's come from a very large family. I believe her mom and her dad maybe are like on, you know, some kind of alcohol, drugs abuse, substance abuse. And she's the oldest of a lot of siblings. And when you're in now this limelight and you're pushed into this, it's probably feels like they see me now. And I'm with this guy where he's getting so much shine where it makes me want to do this. But it breaks my heart to see her like this because not only is she tatting his face on her side neck in the front, she missing a tooth. She got a tattoo on her forehead. You're a walking billboard for this man who don't give a fuck
at all
about you. You know? That is stage 10 of toxic. Because the whole world is looking at you now. The whole everyone is seeing this now. So, you know, before it was like there was not cameras on us or cameras when it came to like, now it's everyone.
Before, this would just happen within your household and people wouldn't see it. What I'm seeing right now is that they're getting so much shine to it that it's making I wouldn't say young kids, but it's making it seem like it's something cute. Like
normalizing the toxic bullshit.
If your girlfriend don't get mad like this, she ain't down for you.
I was just having a conversation with we gonna call him Poppy, okay? Which he's not my Poppy, but we was having a real ass conversation and he basically told me like, yeah, I feel like, first of all, to rewind, he said, how honest do women want their man to be? And I think that's a gateway into toxicity because women might say, yeah, I want you to be very honest with me. And then he might say, oh, well, I went out to the strip club and I got my Zozo sucked, but I'm being honest with you, right?
What does Zozo mean?
That means dick in Creole. Zozo, okay?
Zozo.
But you know, I'm out getting like my Zozo sucked and now I'm telling you, there's a I don't even think it's a fine line. I wouldn't even call it that, but there's a difference between...
I'm going to be right back. Let me go to the club.
There's a difference between honesty and disrespect. First of all, why would you want to hurt me like that?
Would you like that? That's my thing. Okay, you think it's cool for me to do that?
Why would you want to hurt me like that? Why would you disrespect yourself like that? And if I allow you to get away with that, I'm a sucker. Now I'm a Mrs. Potato Head. Like that don't make no sense. So, but you know what he also said was, you know, I feel like if a woman doesn't get angry to the point where she slaps me or breaks something or go keys my car, she really don't care about me. And I was like, what?
Well, sir.
But there's people who feel this way.
Well, sir.
And like I said, in this stage in my life, I'm so calm, cool, and collective. My silence is going to hurt you more than me going
Your absence.
Yeah, my absence is going to hurt you more than me having to slap you up, key your car, slash one tire.
It's not cute. Why you waste your time and energy on that? Why?
It's just, I think it's just that like combativeness. Like he said, if he doesn't think a woman really cares about him, if she doesn't slap him up, break something, or slash a tire, and that is so unhealthy. That takes so much energy to even do some shit like that.
Okay, so we staying away from dudes like Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy is on a whole nother level.
Poppy go date Krishan. Poppy can go find because
it's bad.
We not doing that. No,
but
no,
the fact
no.
that he said that in 2022, it's like, oh, people really.
He knows what he wants.
Yeah,
because if that's what you want, then okay, you gonna be stressed and probably dead by the age of I don't know what.
weight up and down, hair, you losing your hair.
You gonna show
like,
up
there's so many
on-
side effects.
You
from
gonna
being
show up?
toxic.
What's that show? Oh God,
What?
what's that show where the wives be killing the husband? What's that? Snapped. He gonna show up on Snapped if you
Yo.
keep with that type of energy.
I honestly, if
And
somebody,
that's not funny. I'm sorry.
if somebody takes you out of your element to do some shit like that, that's a red flag.
Mhm.
Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I've done that before one time. Remember when I told you at Hooters when my ex or my man at the time, Potato Head, called me and he was like, I got all your stuff packed up at the door.
Mhm.
And mind you, this is, this was a decade ago. I rush home. Mind you, I had an exit strategy. I just need to get this amount of money still saved up so I
Mhm.
can go. So every day counted.
That's another thing. They control your money. They
shouldn't
control
even be
your
knowing about your money
money.
either. They shouldn't even be knowing how
They
much
be
money
wanting
you
to
make.
know your money. They want to know how much you have, what you made, and they be trying to find certain ways to get that type of information. Like I was waitressing. So, what's a good night? Oh, a good night is like over $200, $300,
Hell nah.
$400.
My mom always
You
said,
know-
my stepmom always said, don't tell a man how much money you making.
Oh no, not in my situation. My situation,
You're young.
he was no. This is now we going into.
Hold up, Lily. Hold up. You see how women work? You bail Sharrell out of her toxic story. Let her finish how she was toxic. I want to hear that story. You see, the men that's listening to this podcast right now, they're like, hold up.
Mr. Producer gonna hold us
Women-
accountable.
Hold up now.
Okay, so
I was trying to save you. I was
Yes,
trying to save you,
yes.
girl. I
So, fellas,
Sherelle's
I
an
did peep
angel
that.
in my eyes.
No, fellas, I peeped that. She
No.
tried to save her.
No, Sherelle's an angel
well,
in
the
my
thing
eyes.
is, like I said,
Not guilty.
right, I'm not guilty.
Not guilty.
But I will say,
She was
I found my exit strategy. He pulled me out of work, basically, like causing a huge distraction for me to leave work on a rainy day, and only for none of my stuff to be out of the house. Because he wasn't nuts at that point. He just
Mhm.
wanted a reaction out of
He
me.
wanted attention.
And mind you, I never and he's never slapped me up, did anything to but I always made excuses for him. So now at this point, he's telling me, oh, you got to get out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
You
at
mad.
this point, I
You
was
mad.
so enraged. I
Ooh.
was so mad because I never disrespected him. I only cared. And at this point, it's raining outside. And I went straight to his little Altima and I slashed the inside of those tires. And it hurt me to do that. I was crying while I was doing it because I felt outside of myself. Like I didn't feel like Sharrell. But I felt like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit.
Uh-oh.
And I even think they say that if you only slash a certain amount of tires, I don't know, the insurance doesn't cover it or something like that. I wish I would have knew that then. It really hurt him really hurt it. But I don't advise that now, okay? Trust me.
We grew from that, guys.
No, dead ass, because that was the first in my last relationship where I ever allowed someone to do that to me.
That was the most
But
toxic thing you did?
That's the most toxic thing I've ever. And mind you, at that time,
you nice.
let me tell you, at that time, I was at a space where I would call up my Hooter girls, and I remember, don't kill me, Uncle Tony, but I used to ask my uncle to borrow his Hummer, right? He had a black Hummer. And I would drive to Homestead with my homegirls wearing all black, like on some
on some purge shit.
We gonna pull up and see what's going on, you know. And I still never thought he cheated on me, but it was coming towards the end of our relationship where I'm like, he acting crazy, so it gotta be
Got
something.
you acting crazy.
He got me acting crazy.
Ooh.
So now I'm doing drive-bys.
Mm.
Now, mind you, that was the last time I've acted that way with my man. But I do have some homegirls that we had to pull up and handle some business on they men.
Ooh.
I was young and living my
Ooh.
life. And we had to set some examples. But I don't recommend it because it's just, I'm telling you, the shit be crazy.
It ain't
It don't
worth
be-
it.
it don't be worth
It ain't
it.
worth it after all.
It really ain't worth it at
ain't.
all.
Damn, you nice. That's the most toxic thing you did.
The fact that you said that scares me.
I'm not a physical toxic person. I had to mentally just destroy the brain.
And that's what you see.
I had to what was done for me in a period of 5 years. You had to feel it all in one moment.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you was just doing the most at that point. It was
it was a one moment, and you'll never forget that moment. And for the rest of your life, every time you see me, you gonna remember that moment.
But what led you to that though?
I grew from this. It is okay.
Yeah, of course. We're different. We're different people.
So this is said person.
Mm-hmm.
Not previous domestic relationship, but if you don't heal yourself, you're going to keep hitting the same wall. You're going to be finding yourself in the same kind of situation.
Absolutely.
If you don't find time to fix what you got going on first, because you're going to try to fill in this hole. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to fill in this hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into a relationship with someone, and from the beginning, it just was not good. It just was not good. But
what was the moment you're like, this ain't good? And was it very early on? Like, I'm talking a month, like, the honeymoon stage in the relationship, it wasn't good. Like, what wasn't good, or how soon did you realize it wasn't good?
How soon? I realized as soon as I found out I was pregnant.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. That loving and caring, man, when you are carrying their child, that whole situation, that wasn't happening. And I thought it was my fault again, because I didn't heal from it. So I always think it's my fault at that moment. And I kept looking for that, and it was never there. Like, that person just didn't know how to be that person. And I kept it going because now we have a child,
Yeah.
And I thought that I could.
And I remember you tried.
I tried.
Yeah, you did try, because I knew you at this point.
I thought I could fix it. I thought I could fix him. I thought that it was going to work out. I thought all of that, and thinking all of that led me in a relationship for 5 years and one more child, because we had a second child after that. And the second child was not planned at all. It was more of a surprise. It was more of a blessing, honestly, because at first I was scared. But what ended up happening was that we were in a very bad situation in our relationship. And it felt like he thought that he could fix it by like trying to propose to me. And I literally looked at him and I'm like, I'm not the type of girl that wants a ring. I'm not in it for the ring. So I want the connection. I want the treatment. I want all that. Like, you're not gonna amaze me with a ring. I'm not gonna be amazed with marriage. I'm not gonna be amazed with a what? No. Because if you can have the ring, you can have the marriage, but if you're shit, you're shit. You're gonna be married to shit.
Absolutely.
And that's what was happening. So he told a best friend of mine that he was planning on proposing on my birthday. And I went, and she told me, because she knew the whole situation, like, Lily, this man is about to like, and I'm like, what?
Hell no, Lily, heads up.
And I was like, before you embarrass yourself in front of people, I'm gonna say no. I literally had a whole conversation with him. I was like, listen, we're not ready for that. There's a lot of stuff that we got to fix before you even pop that type of question, because I don't see marriage as something temporary. I see that stuff forever.
Some people would have said yes and been like, oh, finally, once we get married, he's going to change and everything's going to be okay.
Not me.
So it's,
not me.
It's like, it's good that you realize
definitely not me. And what happened afterwards is that the relationship went into a spiral even worse. And he trapped me. Damn. Baby number 2.
Damn.
Yeah.
That trapping shit be real.
That trapping shit is toxic.
That's wild.
And I could tell that it probably doesn't help a lot of people. I know that my situation, I had to literally like be like, you know what? Okay, this is happening because I don't know how to say this. I'm a pro-life for myself, and I'm a pro-choice for, hey, pro-choice for you. But I don't do abortions. I don't do Plan Bs. I don't do any of those type of stuff. So once I found that I was pregnant again, I was like, this is number 2. Like this is now it's a whole other mouth I gotta feed. You get me? This is a whole other baby that's coming into his household that it wasn't ready for. It wasn't ready for that type of household. That's not the household I wanted to raise my kids in. And I was slowly planning my exit. Slowly. Took forever to exit, but slowly planning my exit, and it just felt like a trap. It just felt like a trap. It felt like the same thing as the other one because that's what I was becoming accustomed to.
So because we talk so much about toxic relationships and red flags and exit strategies, and
that did not work.
It did work though, because you're not in that situation anymore. So it's like, and I'm not in that situation anymore. I definitely want to talk about loving thyself and what it looks like. And, before we was like, you were kind of like, fuck love, right?
Definitely.
But I don't feel that way. I feel like, my mama used to say, one monkey don't stop your show. So for me, I wouldn't allow that situation to stop my show. And if I would have, I wouldn't have met the Mr. Clutch right after him.
That was still fuck love.
You was like that for a while.
After all that I went through, I did not. I wanted to stay away from men in general. I was like, no. All y'all do is hurt people. All you do is hurt me. And now I have 2 kids with me. I didn't want to waste my time, waste my energy, none of that. I learned my lesson. So that's what I thought all men did, because every single man that I dated did me wrong. That's really how I felt. So
that's fair.
I was definitely on fuck love. I was definitely on that. And what was happening was I didn't love myself. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what happiness was. I didn't know that I could find all that out the window. I had to focus on myself. And I had 2 babies by myself, single mom. I didn't want that.
I think I felt different because there's this meme that kind of goes around like, you think that nigga in the house crying? You think you better stand up. Like, that's how I felt instantly. I felt like, I know I've been through some shit, but I also knew that I was deserving of it. I didn't know what it looked like at that time, but I felt like, but then again, I don't know what it's like to have any kids. So that's a whole nother ballgame. Because, shout out to the moms out there. Y'all are really the MVPs, because to take care of a whole nother life while loving them, loving yourself, working, making a way for you all, that's a different kind of level of courage, bravery, respect that is unmatched.
Yeah.
But for me, with my single ass, I was like, stand up before it was like stand up, because I just wanted to be open to love. And that's why I say, like, I met a Mr. Clutch after, because and it showed me why I had to go through all that. Because if I didn't go through all that, I wouldn't have known how to care for this man this time and make sure that he cared for me first, loved on me more than I loved on him, if that makes sense,
I know I passed on a whole bunch of Mr. Clutches because I was on fuck love.
Yeah, but now
and that happens.
But now
what? No.
But now, because the tables always turn, they always turn, right?
They do. But now, like you said, with you, I had to go through the bad to be able to appreciate the good.
Absolutely.
So in that time that I'm saying of fuck love, I'm trying to be funny and all that stuff, I did really feel that way. But what I did was more like, fuck wasting my time. That's what it was. Fuck
That
wasting my
part.
time on dudes that really don't have no good intentions with me. And then I was able to pick it up as soon as the first conversation they would have with me. You know, if it wasn't something like good, nah, you're not wasting my time. You're not wasting my time. So I would literally
Absolutely.
tell them, like, look, I got 2 kids. I'm a single mom. I live with at that moment, I was living with my mom. I live with my mom. Like, you gonna rescue me? No?
Mhm.
Bye.
Yeah.
Because I knew that's what they didn't want to hear, you know? So what I
Tell a man that hey, you tell a man that he's gonna exit stage left, open his own door. You hear me?
and walk right out.
Okay.
So that was my thing. As soon as I saw that would happen and that's what they would do and disappear, I was like, oh, good. Dodge myself the bullet.
yeah,
You know? And
I get that.
what I took in those 2 years after the final breakup with said person,
Mhm. Yeah.
I took time for myself. I took time to learn how to love myself, because what you can't do is expect someone to love you if you don't know what love is, if you don't know how to love yourself. So how can
Okay.
you expect someone to love you?
Okay.
How do you expect someone to pour into you? How do
Okay.
you expect any of that if you don't know what you want yet? Because you're busy doing what they need and what they want and what they love.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't know how to make yourself happy.
Absolutely.
So I had to go into that whole realization. Sorry, guys. The English is not my first language. But I had to go through that whole realization to know that I cannot love someone more than I love myself.
Right. 100%.
I cannot do more for someone than I do for myself.
Absolutely.
And that's what I did in those 2 years of basically not dating, just focusing on my needs, my
Yep.
wants, my desires, to be able. And like I said, I'm pretty sure there was a couple of Mr. Rights that came through and I just was not ready for
And
them.
that's absolutely fine, because you don't need to jump into a
Mm-mm.
situation
It's
just
not gonna help
because,
it.
it presented itself to be a certain way.
Mhm.
For me, honestly, that helped. The situation I got into after just helped me realize, oh, I could really have this,
Mm.
and this man could really treat me this good.
Mhm.
And he says what he means what he says, and says what he means,
Mhm.
and not just, promise me the world, but show me the world. Oh, he's actually being consistent. Now, if I would have took extra time, maybe, can't go back. Maybe I would
Yeah.
have never fucked that relationship up towards the
Mhm.
end. But it showed me, like, there's still great men out here.
Yeah.
And I'm big on advocating for
what's
the
the
men.
shirt? Does the
Hmm?
good men still exist?
Do good men still exist?
No, I'm
Or,
just saying.
good men
Do
still
good men?
exist?
Yeah, good men.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. I look at how Sierra was with Russell with Future, but now she's with
Mhm.
Russell.
Mhm.
Now we see Future out here. He outside.
There's
right?
a lot of futures outside.
There's a lot of futures. But then she gets with Russell, and it's like a man who's consistent, who loves her kids, who's a man to them kids.
And people consider him like
a square.
like
They
a
call him
simp. What is it? Is a simp? Is that the
Sign
word?
me up.
What?
Okay. Where's the
Please.
line? Where's the simp line? Okay.
Please.
Because listen, good guys are, now granted, we don't want somebody to just walk all over. Because if the moment a man shows us that we can walk all over him, we're gonna fucking do the bachata on him, okay? Like,
she said bachata.
You know it. So it's like, we don't want that, but we want him to have a beautiful balance of
Excuse me. Say that in reverse. As soon as a woman show us her weakness, we're going to do the cha-cha.
Yeah.
You see how bad that sounds?
Yeah.
But why should I feed into her insecurities? Why not help her?
Okay,
no, that's really good though. But I mean it in a sense of,
Stop passing on toxicity.
oh, damn, am I still toxic?
It's not that you're still toxic. It's just the mind frame that we keep passing it on. You know what I mean? If we don't help each other, then who will?
Didn't I say last episode I was looking for a therapist? I'm looking for a therapist because clearly
she's still toxic, guys.
No, I'm not toxic, but I guess I have some toxic traits, because it's like I do want a good guy, but I don't want
But
him
not
to
too
be
good.
But not no. I want him to be a great guy. I don't want him to be so weak where it's like I could walk all over you. I want the man to really be a man. And I know it sounds so crazy to even say that, but maybe I need my therapist to help me through it. I might need a man therapist because, you know, ain't no advice like man advice.
I don't think you're toxic. No.
Mr. Producer, you think I'm toxic?
Nah, I like what y'all been doing. You know what I mean? I dig the conversation. I think this is very fluent. Yeah, continue. I'm just saying to look at it from another point of view.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Because this is what y'all say men do all the time. I'm getting a little feedback, but I'll fix it. But yeah, this is what y'all say men do all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, look at it from that point of view. You know?
You're right. Because if I show him my weakness, I don't want him to take it, manipulate it, and hurt me, use it to get and exploit it.
But that's respect. You guys should not even cross that type of.
But I wasn't thinking of it in a way where if he showed me his weakness that I'm going to do the bachata on him or vice versa. I just, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever had a guy like do some really like, damn, I did this to you and you just took it? Because, you know, we always like to test them. In my early days, I would test the guy.
I don't test. That's wasted.
I would test the guy. Now I'm like, yo, live life, do you? I'm just watching. I'm just here to be a data collector. I'm just here to see what you doing, so I can see what you rather do. You know.
So we team Russell.
Oh, I'm definitely Team Russell. I'm not Future. I haven't had a Future since Mr. Potato Head. Not going back. But damn, I really do. I think it's time. If I find a therapist on here, I will be so blessed, and I will bring my therapist on the show. I think because we're gonna start having guests, you know, come through once in a blue moon. We're not always going to be at our great comfy set, y'all. So I just want y'all to know.
And finding a therapist is honestly one of the things to help you get out of those toxic relationships too.
Yeah, it'll be great.
If you're in it, it's ways to find out. Because we wanted to talk today about this because, you know, we know it's happening out there. Hopefully, if y'all hearing to this, if y'all going into this situation, there's a great article that you guys can go over, which is
because we made sure we had to we just wanted to give you guys some resources, so if you're going through anything that you can get help. And I think we're also gonna put in the description like make sure that if you are going through any kind of abuse, whether it be mental, physical, you definitely need to seek help, okay? There's always an exit strategy and you're not alone.
We're definitely going to put it, but it's called 24 Signs You're in a Toxic Relationship and Need to Let Go. So we're going to put that link under there. We're also, if you are in a domestic abuse relationship, man or woman, we're also going to attach the hotline that you guys could call. There is a number of people that are just, you know, ready to answer the call and help you. You know, even if it's just different ways to feel like you're not alone, because you definitely will feel like you're alone in those type of situations. So
absolutely.
We're definitely going to have a part 2 to this, because it's not just a topic to be done in an hour or two. This is deep, and we'll definitely have more information about it. We're definitely gonna do just more. We really want to help. If you guys we've both been victims of something like this, so it's like, I wish I knew there was a hotline. I wish I knew I could call someone. So we're gonna add that onto the description, all those links.
You guys had a really dope flow going, so I didn't want to stop you, but when you was talking about the abuse, like men abuse, like women abusing men, and you were saying physical, well, verbal abuse.
Abuse, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I think that affects us. I don't want to say more.
It does, though. I think
it happens. I think it happens more frequent.
Yeah, because a woman tends to think like, just because I didn't hit you, but I called you a piece of
They
shit, called you a
belittle.
dumbass,
Mhm.
called you, in Miami, to call a man a fuckboy is like,
Mhm.
wait a
Mhm.
minute. That's like,
It's like destroying you from the inside.
yeah.
So little by little, they're just like
chipping at you, you know?
chipping and chipping and chipping and already, like, let's say this is, I don't want to, I'm going to say with the Black community because that's, my community. And they're already dealing with things on the outside already. So now I'm in my home and now my woman is doing this to
Yeah.
me. And then there's women that do this in front of their children. So now you're belittling this man in front of the children that they're supposed to look up
like
to.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And to do that, I hate to see a man in that position, because when you break a Black man down, and granted, this is white men, Spanish men, Hispanic men, all
Mhm.
nationalities, all races, does not matter, shape, size, whatever. Disability, like to break
Disclaimer, this is for everybody.
this is for everybody, but to break a man down, a man who's supposed to go outside and battle the world, because as women, right? I don't want to say we have it easier, but we can finesse a little bit different when we step out of the house.
Mhm.
People tend to, look out for women and children a lot more versus a man. And to have a woman break a man down. And like that,
And
that's
that woman,
painful.
that woman's supposed to be the safe place. That woman's supposed to
Yeah.
be your peace.
Yeah.
And that and you do that, and they it's just a lot. There's a lot of healing that we have to do.
Because like I do feel like we should advocate for men, because I have brothers, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I don't ever want a woman to disrespect my brothers.
Mm.
And I granted my brothers have done some fuck shit before, but it's almost like that's my brother at the end of the day, you know? So if a woman does some fuck shit to them, I'm standing on that, but I'm still holding my brothers accountable.
Yeah.
Always, in all ways. So I mean, I just hate to see like a woman break a man down like that. Like they take it harder. Just like, when if a woman cheats on a man, that man takes it hard. A man gets his heart broken, he takes it 10 times harder.
Oh, a heartbreak on a man is different.
He might not show it right now, but he takes that shit 10 times harder.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people are like advocating for men like that, but I got y'all, because even though y'all be doing some fuck shit, it's a special place in my heart for men. For real, like for real.
A lot of fuckboy shit.
Yeah, a little funny business. But I do want us to one day like maybe have like guys on, girls on. We could just have a conversation. Let's just have a little kickback, you know what I mean? And just, we don't know when. Y'all just tell us in the comment section. When y'all
it's
want
rubbing
it.
off on you.
I know it is. I love it. Tell us in the comment section what y'all want to hear, and
we're here for y'all. This is for y'all. We just want to share our stories, and maybe we could change the world.
We already are.
We are.
Oh my God! Can we end on a "Here We Grow"?
Can
okay,
we?
We're gonna do a toast. So
wait, no shot.
If you are listening on Spotify, Apple,
Can't reach mine.
You can never reach yours.
Thank you, Cheryl.
But if you're listening on all platforms, because like we said, it's on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, YouTube. We're on. Catch us on Instagram too. This is for
I think I made this shot way bigger than it was supposed to.
changing the perspectives on what people may think of relationships, of friendships, of love, and anything else? Do we have anything else, y'all?
Here we grow.
Here we grow.
Here we go. Hey. Oh my God.
We did it. We took the shot, y'all.
Oh my God. I'm not a drinker. I'm a mom. Ugh.
And I like wine and prestige beer.